Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making some cosmetic modifications to the STI. One of the things I really dislike is the grill. I will show you that now. As you can see, it's pretty plain. One of the modifications you can make is to take out the emblem there in the middle. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. It's going to be quite fun. We're going to be using a Dremel and some paint, sandpaper, and I'll let you know if any other tools are needed. So let's have some fun. In order to remove the grill, these little tabs here, just clip in these holes. So as you can see, we got a little bit of dust and rust to repair still on this little cross member here, but we're going to be working on the grill today. So we're going to be removing this emblem here. You can see it's pretty simple. So I have popped the grill out already, so this will be pretty easy for me. We're going to bring it over here. Pardon the mess in our garage. So many projects. Alright guys, as I said, we're going to be cutting the emblem out of the grill. So this is the emblem we're going to be removing. You can see this mesh we're going to take out. We're also going to be painting the grill black. I don't know if some of you have noticed, but it is kind of the same color as we wrapped the car. So we didn't quite realize that. Kind of dumb of me. But anyway, for this project, what I'm going to be using is a Dremel tool with a diamond blade. Mike tried to get me to use an angle grinder, a sawzall, and a multi-tool. This is what I picked, so that might change. This is what I've used in the past. So there might be a better tool for the job. We'll see. A Red Bull, because if you know me, I have lots of Red Bull in my house, so we drink lots of Red Bull. I'm gonna have some primer. So primer after we modify it, then we're gonna paint it black. So black paint, primer, Dremel tool, diamond blade, Red Bull, gloves, very important, and safety glasses. Fortunately, I wear glasses. You're gonna have to remove the mesh on the back, so I would like to use some needle nose pliers, and I think that's really it. So I'm going to record from another camera to give you guys a close-up view, but we will continue to discuss what I'm doing on this camera. So first we're going to be removing the clips. So as you can see, these clips are kind of odd in shape. They have these little tabs. If you get up underneath them, grab a little screwdriver here as well. There might be an easier way to do these clips. This is how I always do them. finish around these little parts right here. So we'll set this aside. So now you can see we have easy access to the back. Alright, so as you can see, the emblem has been removed. So now it's time to sand this. It's pretty rough. And we will sand it, maybe put a little body filler over it depending on how it looks after we sand it. So we're done with all this stuff, so I'm going to put it away. So I ended up using, I didn't use this, but I ended up using, like I said, an old set of tin snips. Needle nose pliers. And so the next thing we're going to be using is, I have these round stones for my Dremel. I'm going to try this first. If it's too aggressive, then we'll jump to some sandpaper. Some sandpaper cylinders, which I don't have very many. So let's try this first. This is just a little Dremel I got from Harbor Freight, I think, a long time ago. This is one of our older tools that we've had. So how this works is it has a chuck inside. Fortunately, I get to replace the chuck now so I can show you how it works. But this is the chuck and a collar. So we're gonna look over here, see if I have a smaller chuck. Goes inside of it. Whatever you're using, whatever attachment goes there. This gets tightened down and it squeezes that collar or that chuck down onto whatever tool you're using. So see, now it's tight. And it has this button. Perfect. Alright, so everything has been cleaned. We still have to clean this, but the workbench has been cleaned up. So this is what I'm going to use to fill in all of the little voids here in the plastic. As you can see, it looks pretty good. The primer will help with this, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm going to use some alcohol to clean before we use the spot putty. So just put some on a towel, give this a good clean. I'm going to clean the whole thing just because we are going to paint it. I am going to clean it again before we paint it just because we are going to sand the spot putty a tiny bit, but this will help us get all the plastic residue out of these areas. It's pretty dirty. So, alright, let that dry. Material, or this is one of these that's cut up into a smaller piece. I will use this once we get to making sure everything is flat, but we'll start out with just a little bit. So I like to start out with a lot and then kind of fill in everything and then work my way to a little. I'm going to grab a paper towel for underneath this. So the nice thing about this material is once it starts to set up, you can really start to manipulate it. Awesome. One thing about this is it does dry and will stick, as you saw. So make sure you wipe it off. So let's flip it over. This side won't need as much. As you can see, it's a lot smaller. Stick something under here. See if I can get it to lay flat. Will not need as much on this side. Again, just using this to fill in any deep scratch marks. Gloves, long sleeves, and eye protection. So I'm using 180 grit sandpaper. Just gonna knock these down, get rid of any rough edges. So, as many of you know, we are going to go through a few grits of sandpaper here, just like you would on a piece of wood. You want to try and get a minimal amount of scratches in the material. So we are going to use a primer on this that will fill in any scratches, but you want to do your best to keep any sanding to a minimum, just because you don't want to scratch this. So the second one I used was 220. We'll look here and see. This is 1500. We'll see how well this works. Again, this is plastic, so it is scratched, but we can knock out any really deep scratches with this. 1500. I think that primer that we have will fill in those scratches. So that's what it looks like when it's done. So that side is done and ready for some paint. So, alright, it's dry now. So I did put one more layer on, just because I'd really like this to be as even as possible. I am going to try and use a straight edge while I sand, just to keep things nice and even. Helps if you hold on to the sandpaper. Alright guys, well I went ahead and skipped the last sanding step. I believe I'm done sanding. You can still kind of see where the emblem dipped down right here. But once the mesh is in and everything, honestly I don't really think you'll be able to notice it. So we are going to clean it up now and just get it ready for paint. I'm not sure what the weather looks like outside. I have been in the garage or the laundry room or our sticker / YouTube office / spare room all day. So I think it's sunny, should be nice outside. So I'll meet you guys outside and let's paint this. Alright guys, so it is super nice outside. So we're going to go ahead and paint these trim pieces that I need to paint a little bit more, and also this grill. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so these are some spats that I need to paint. We just bought new ones and they are super slippery, so I'm hoping that with the primer on them the vinyl wrap will stick. So wish me luck. I don't really have high hopes, and we're probably gonna ruin a little bit of vinyl on this. So here's that grill. Just waiting for that to dry. So I'll go ahead and get these painted. Alright, next I'm gonna do a coat of this trim and bumper paint. Alright guys, this is after a couple coats of paint. As you can see, that filler primer did a great job. One more emblem. So a couple more coats of paint, then we'll let it dry and we'll put it back on the car. I'm also going to go grab the mesh and paint that as well. Alright guys, one more thing I've been putting off. I figure I should do it now because I have it out, is painting the windshield wipers. As you know, on old cars, from them sitting out in the sun, these get all faded. So I'm going to put a few coats of that bumper and trim paint on these as well. So I'll show you the after. Alright guys, I finally had a chance to finish the grill. It doesn't look perfect, but looks much better than having the emblem in there. I actually ended up changing the paint that I used. I used a satin finish just to match the wrap color. Well guys, thanks for watching my video. As you can see, the little work that I did to the grill really made a huge difference. So stay tuned. We definitely will be having more interesting videos coming out soon, as we will be building the 05 STI. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned and have a good one.